church. There is no perfect church, as the church members say. Every church is sinful, every church is evil. So let me just tell you some of the sins which I observe in the church. And the first sin which I see is the idolatry. And how it reveals, it's in the sin watching. So what the church members do, they observe each other and they see who lives in the sin. And instead of going and confront that person or speak to that person and to rebuke that person, they go to the church leader and they complain about that person to church leader. And the church leader goes and threatens this person, okay, you've done this, that's what was reported to me, and if you're gonna continue to do this, then we will excommunicate you. So the church members, they have given over the authority given to them from God to the church leader. They are not in control anymore. They are weak, they are ungodly. So they go to the church leader to threaten the person, because they know that the church members, they know that they have no authority over the person. They cannot excommunicate. I mean, if they tell him you don't do this, but the person does, he continues to live in the sin. So maximum what they can do is they go and complain to the church leader. And why church members go and complain to church leader? Because only church leader has the power in his hands to excommunicate the people. The church member has no power over it. Church member has no authority. A believer, if he sees the sin in another believer, he will go and confront it. He will rebuke him, he will correct him, he will explain to him, and if this person continue to live in the sin, he will just leave him. He'll just leave him to live in the sin. He will not even call him a brother. Yeah, he will not treat him as a brother in Christ. That's what the proper believer will do. But church member, he is not a proper believer. He is, into idolatry. So instead of confronting the sinner, he will go and complain to the church leader, and church leader goes and threatens. So this is idolatry. And if you see this in your church, you must know that you are also into idolatry. And another weird thing which I see, which I've seen in churches, is the kind of like a futurism. Yeah, it's kind of like a futurism. It's kind of like a false prophecy. The church members say that there is an end of the world is coming soon. We are living the end of the world, on end of times. We are the Jesus is coming soon. So that's it. Nothing is important. So they're not successful in their life. They're not good workers. If they work in the company, they're not working good, or they're not working at all. They're lazy. Because they assume that there is end of the world, end of times is coming here just like soon, or Jesus is coming soon, or there is end of times. Especially it was common, like in the old times, they've been scheduling the time that the end of the world will happen this day, this year, and then it didn't happen. They changed it to some other year, and then to some other year again, So that's the false prophecy. Jesus clearly said, no one knows when the Son of Man comes. No one knows, but it's also a foolishness. It's kind of a false prophecy, foolishness. And the foolishness is also a sin. And this sin I have seen, So if in your church, your church believes in that, or so there are people who believes in that, and you are fine with it, that the end of times coming soon, end of the world is approaching, then you must know that you are fool. Yeah, and this is a sin. So let's go to another sin which I see in churches. Their imperfections is the church leaders, they abuse the members. They make them serve. First of all, they deceived the members. They told the members, if you serve the church, you are serving God, because they keep on telling people the church is God, it's God's kingdom. Welcome to God's kingdom. Today here, and God is with us, and there is the God's kingdom here, So the church members, they deceive people, they lie to people, they say that this is the God's kingdom, but it's not the God's kingdom. So they make people to serve, they make people to do anything they want. The church leaders, they tell, okay, you do this, you do that, it's God's kingdom, you do that, and people must do it, because if they want to grow in the church hierarchy, they have to obey the leader. It's disobedience to Jesus Christ when Jesus say you all are brothers. But church members, they're very disobedient, and they build up the church hierarchy. They follow the church hierarchy. They want to grow in church hierarchy. So one of the ways to grow in the church hierarchy, they give themselves over to the church leader as obedient slaves. So they keep on serving, they keep on doing whatever, church leaders say, okay, go pick up that person from the airport to use your car, okay, go do this, okay, there is an event is coming, you're gonna be a MC, okay, you're gonna do this, you're gonna prepare this, there's a wedding, okay, you have to do this, and even if you don't want, but you have to do it because church leader tells you to do it. The church is such an organization which demands, which requires people to serve it. The church always come up with the different events, with the different programs. And these programs are unlimited. One program is finished, they're already preparing for another one. Another one is finished, there's another program. So the church requires people to come and to do the work of the church, and to convince the church members. They say it's a God's kingdom and you are serving God, but you are not serving God, you are serving the church. So it's a sin of idolatry as well, because you have switched God for the church. You're not serving God, but you're serving the church. And then another sin which I see is that forced forgiveness. Okay, the church members, they force. Okay, you just forgive. You forgive. The church members, they were, when in my videos I speak against the churches, against the church members. So the church members will come and tell, okay, why you speak, against the churches, against church members? You must forgive, So they're forcing me to forgive. See, Jesus forgave, Jesus Christ taught to forgive. So you must forgive. I know the teaching of Jesus Christ well. Jesus is my Lord, but I know that I have to forgive, and I do forgive, but it doesn't mean that I don't have to expose the church members. I don't have to expose the churches. So the people who are affected by the churches will repent. I do it not as a revenge, but as a help for the people who are abused by the churches. Abused by the church members, who are people who are deceived by the church members. So the church members, they forcing forgiveness on me. So they, don't talk about the churches, don't talk about the church members, you must forgive. Because the church members, they wanted to arrest me for teaching against them, for speaking against them. They threaten, we're gonna call security, police. If you resist, you might even be killed. They've been telling me this, and I forgive this, but it doesn't mean that I don't have to expose it, because the church members and any other church, they will say the same thing. Okay, if you speak against the church leader, they will try to arrest you. And whether I forgive or not, it's my personal. I know that I need to forgive. I know, and the people need to forgive as well. That's true. But the church members, they should not force people to forgive. Basically they say, okay, forgive, don't speak about it, just let it go. No, the believers need to speak the truth. So the forced forgiveness, the manipulation, the sin of twisting the teaching of Christ, it just, the Pharisees. Another sin which I see is, claiming spiritual authority, claiming that God has spoken to them. They say, God has told me this and that. and what they say, okay, God has told me to do this and this and that. Okay, God has told me to marry that person, like, and then in the end, this woman who says that like God has told her to marry that person, in the end they're not getting married, nothing happened, so what God has told you, you just imagined, it's your own imagination. So the church members, they imagine like God has told me, God has inspired me, God has like, yeah, is it? But show me what God has inspired you. You know what? God can inspire for something noble. God can inspire someone to go and speak against the evil, just like God has inspired me, and I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm speaking against the church members, against the evil which they do. But like when the church members come and claim that God has spoken to them, they're just like false prophets. God has never spoken to them. Even what they say, it never happens. They're just making it up. Another thing which I see in the churches and in the church members is that like they are blaming demons. Whatever happened, oh, it's a demon. Oh, like if someone confronts the church, if someone tells the church, you are wrong, he's mentally ill, he's demon possessed, like, so they're just blaming demons. They themselves are demon possessed, but they're telling, okay, this person he's possessed by demon, it's a demon, like, it's demons. But it's not a demon. Like, if someone does anything, okay, wrong, you must go and confront that person. Don't just blame it on demon. Yeah, it's wrong. It's wrong to do it. Like, it's a foolishness. I'll say it's a sin of foolishness that the churches are suffering. Another sin in the churches is a greed and love for money. The church leaders, they convinced people that you must like give to the church. You must give to the church, so God will bless you. Then you will prosper. Then you will like, all your problems will be solved. But this is not true. God has never said give to the church. Yeah, give it to the poor, yes, but not to the church. And the churches, they will even say, all right, see, the believers, they put at the feet of the apostles. All right, but who are the apostles nowadays? who are the apostles? The believers, even if they put anything, any gold or silver at the feet of the apostles, this gold and silver will be distributed to the poor people. It will not be put in the pocket of the apostle, or apostle will not build a church building just like the pastors, church leaders and priests do. So the church members, they deceive people. Okay, give to us, sacrifice to us, and you will be blessed and God will bless you. But God doesn't bless people for giving to the church. God will bless you if you will give your money to the poor people. If you, just like it says, to take care of the widows, take care of the widows, being away from sin, God will bless you for this. But not giving money to the church, because the church members are not poor. They are fine, they are fine. They have a job, and those people, who give money, they have a job. And the church leader, when he received the money, he put it in his pocket for like as his salary, or he will organize an event, or he will book a hotels for everyone, or whatever activity, and he will rent a building, or he will purchase a building, he will build a building, like the church, his property, where he will reign, because the church leader, pastor, priest, he wants to be a boss. So these are the churches, and the church members, they say that, okay, there is no perfect church. Yes, and I had to show you what are the sins in the church. the sins of the church members. So if in one church, the one church is into prosperity and they say, okay, give us money, you know, you keep on losing money, you keep on giving to the church. So you decide to go to another church, and another church there's a sin watching. So the church leaders go and complain, the church members go and complain to the church leader about you, church leader comes and threaten you. So, you know, there is no perfect church. Every church is sinful. Whether it's one church or another church, you go, you know, I've seen myself, you know, different churches. In one church it's a sin watching, another church is idolatry, another church is a prosperity, another church is foolishness. You know, I've seen different churches. All churches are sinful. So, and God is a holy God. He doesn't want you to be in sin. He doesn't want you to be in these evil churches. What Jesus said, I will build my church. It's not the church which you observe today. Jesus did not build these churches which you see today. It's built by people. You go to Wikipedia, you type the name of the church, and you see when it started, who started, why it started, and who joined it. Okay, so these are the churches around which you see right now. They're built by people, but Jesus Christ has built a different church, and this church is not like that, like, okay, there's a church building, there is a church leader, the church leader has a name of people who are attending the church. No, that's not what Jesus built. It's built by people, and these churches which you see today are sinful. So instead of going into these churches and living the life of sin, or going from one church to another, you must follow God alone. You must follow the teaching of Jesus Christ and fellowship with those who are righteous, with those who know that, okay, these people are righteous, I will fellowship with them, they are believers. Don't fellowship with those people whom church leader tell you, okay, you fellowship with him because he's a church member and you are also the church member. So don't follow the church leader, pastor, or priest, because they are not people appointed by God. Doesn't matter how much they're gonna tell you that we are appointed by God, Jesus Christ in heaven and we are on earth. Don't believe them. Don't trust them. God has never appointed them. Apostles never appointed them. Jesus Christ never appointed them. Follow Jesus alone and fellowship in truth, and don't forget to help the poor people. Thanks for watching. Bye.